this is Team 6. This is our Unit 3 Horizon Report discussion, and we both are discussing the 2005 higher education. I'm Jennifer, and I'm going to discuss the short-term trends, and the first one that I want to discuss was the use of blended learning and the increase in higher education. I need to make a clause, though, from last week. I got a lot of feedback about how it sounded negative, that that I didn't want it to look like I was speaking negatively about Dr. Crawford at all. What I had read was like on a more global vision, and so I was not attacking Dr. Crawford's way of teaching class, because it's been very helpful and very useful. So I was implying more about the traditional classroom setting, and definitely not anything that's a graduate level technology course. So that's my little disclaimer from last week. What this report is saying about blended learning for the short term, like the next 1 to 2 years, universities do realize that students are coming out of high school with this experience and that they're learning more. And in this report, it says that they've done some testing on what learning styles are better, and that students are more successful in the concept of unbundling their learning, and that they feel like they're more successful when their instructors are available for them at all times, and that they can work at a more consistent pace through the virtual learning environment. So I thought that was interesting, because higher education struggles long term in trying to implement blended learning through a whole course of a classic brick and mortar style teaching. But there have been several accomplishments with the blended learning short term, 1 to 2 years, just with the success rates of the students and the use of different learning styles. There was one other thing I wanted to bring up. That the brick and mortar style classrooms are also using more cloud-based audio tools like VoiceThread and SoundCloud to help with conferencing and just different methods of getting the information to the student. That they're more involved in the social activities and critical thinking in the online environment. And that the implications for policy, the leaders are aware that blended learning is coming. It's going to stay in higher education, but they have to come up with a way to have best practices for what the expectations are for the educators and for the students. The next one that I have on the short-term trends is redesigning learning spaces. What has been found is that, again, the classic brick and mortar style classroom with rows of chairs, podium up in the front, is not, when we're focused more on the blended learning and more on the new concepts of collaborative learning, that the classroom layouts need to change, and that they're redesigning their spaces to have more of a flexible or more of an active learning space, and the typical podium is moved to the center of the room instead of the front, and then there's round or oval tables around the podium. And then campuses are also creating more collaborative spaces in the casual spaces, like high traffic areas, like lobbies, atriums, hallways, and they're repurposing them to make them more of a location where students can congregate and work together in their collaborative working groups. So there's something else I want to say. And they're also looking at libraries to pull out all of those shelves of all those books that haven't been touched forever and have more floor space for more collaborative working areas. And so it really is a trend that it's picking up, and it looks like a lot of changes are going to be made. And those were the short term. What do you have?
I have the midterm trends, which I really liked reading about. because I was excited to see that this is what my students are going to be going into. The one that I really liked was that in about 3 to 5 years, they're going to have more of a focus on measuring learning, where they're going to actually take the data from when the students are taking the courses and use it to possibly go back to reteach or to better design that course for future courses to see what needs to be changed to better help the students learn. This was a really exciting thing for me because this is what we as high school teachers, we are actually doing this with our students. This is what our 6 weeks assessments are for, when we go in and we take the data, we look at it, we analyze. Needs to be retaught for our students so that they can go on to take their semester exam. And the second thing that they discussed in the midterm trends was there's going to be more of a focus on open educational resources, which is basically where they will make these resources available to everyone instead of selling them. They're available for free. And when I read this section, I remembered about the one, there's a university, I can't remember the name, but I keep seeing the ads for that university about how they've now made their online courses free for everyone to be able to take. I mean, they wouldn't get the credit for it, but everyone has access to take their online courses, which I find incredible, because this is a great opportunity, for students if they want to get an idea of what they're going into, is they can always take these courses to help them decide.
Yeah, that's really neat that they can do that. I wasn't aware that that was out there.
I could not remember the name of the university. I just kept seeing the article on it popping up on Facebook about all their courses now being, I think it was their technology, it was a certain subject that all those were now available for anyone to take, but they, and if they wanted credit for it, they would have to register and pay. But if they want to just take the course just to learn, it was
free. We've got a party going on in the back.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Okay, do you have anything else that you wanted to add?
That was it.
Okay, all right, thank you.